All right, ready to dive into something totally crucial this week, something we literally can't live without.
You got that right. We're talking about the immune system.
Well, we've gotten some really interesting stuff from you all about this, and I gotta say, I'm ready to get microscopic.
Microscopic, yeah, but way more than that. It's pretty epic when you think about it. I mean, we're talking trillions of cells, a constant battle raging inside of us to, keep us healthy.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. So the immune system, it's not just about like fighting off a cold.
No, not even close. This is like the foundation of your health. We're talking chronic diseases, even how well you age. It's all
I
connected.
never really thought of it that way. But how does it actually work, this system? It seems so complicated when you hear about white blood cells, antibodies, all of that.
It is complex, but picture this. It's like an army, right? But inside you, you've got your defenses like your skin, mucous membrane.
Oh, so even just skin is part of the immune system.
Absolutely. That's like your front line, your walls, innate immunity, always there. But then let's say something sneaks past that.
Okay, so what happens then?
Then it gets interesting. That's when your adaptive immunity kicks in, the elite forces.
All right, now you've got to tell me more about this elite force because, I mean, what makes them so special?
Well, first you've got these kind of like intelligence agents. We call them B cells. They can actually figure out who the enemy is, like if it's a virus or bacteria, and they
Yeah.
make this like targeted weapon. We call that an antibody.
So it's like each antibody is made for just one bad guy.
Exactly, like a lock and key.
Right.
But they've got backup. You've also got T cells. They're like the soldiers on the ground using those antibodies to seek and destroy.
Wow, it's like this perfectly timed, choreographed defense system going on in our bodies all the time. I mean, with all that going on, does it ever get it wrong?
That's a great question because it shows how complex this all is. It's incredibly effective, don't get me wrong, but it's not perfect.
So it's not foolproof then.
Not totally. Sometimes it can, like, misidentify stuff. Think something harmless is actually a threat. And that's how you get allergies.
Oh, right. So like pollen or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then in some cases, it can even, well, it's kind of wild, but it can turn against you, attacks your own cells. That's what we call autoimmune diseases.
So those kinds of malfunctions aside, this is really remarkable stuff. But it also makes me wonder, with all this complexity, I mean, how do we even support a system this intricate? It
What?
feels almost, I don't know, untouchable or something.
I think that's a really important point because you're right. You can't like micromanage your immune system, but that doesn't mean we're powerless either. The choices we make every day, they have a huge impact.
That's where those lifestyle factors come in, right? I mean, you hear it all the time. Diet, exercise, sleep. Does that stuff really affect something as complex as the immune system?
It's not just affecting it, it's crucial. Think about it like this. Your immune system, it's like this, well, powerful machine. And to run at its best, it needs the right fuel, the right maintenance.
Makes sense. So it's about giving our bodies what they need to, I guess, support those inner warriors or whatever we call them. Let's break it down a little. Diet, for example. I hear certain foods can like boost immunity, but is it really that straightforward?
I think it's bigger than just listing specific foods. It's more about your overall approach to what you eat. Our source mentioned antioxidants. Those are key.
Right, antioxidants. But aren't those kind of, I don't know, a buzzword? Like, what are they really doing?
Think of them as like the superheroes of the nutrient world, okay? They're found in those brightly colored fruits and vegetables, and what they're doing is fighting off damage.
Oh, so like damage from what, pollution and stuff like that.
Exactly. And it's not just about damage from the outside. Our bodies are constantly fighting off these things called free radicals, which can damage cells.
Because it was like an internal defense system as
Yeah.
well. So instead of trying to remember like a whole list of vitamins, I should just be picturing a plate full of color.
Exactly. The more vibrant, the better. And on that note, let's talk about hydration because that's crucial too. Don't underestimate it.
Right, water. I feel like everyone's always saying drink more water, but why is it so important for our immune system specifically?
Well, your bloodstream, right? It's like this network of waterways. It's carrying nutrients, immune cells. It needs to flow. And that's where water comes in.
Oh, that's a good way to think about it. So dehydration is like clogging up the system. Okay, I'm never forgetting to drink water again. What about exercise then? I mean, that's good for you too, obviously, but I don't totally see the connection to like fighting off viruses.
Oh, it's totally connected. When you're active, your blood flow increases, which means those immune cells, they can travel much more efficiently.
So it's like they can get to where they need to go faster,
Yeah.
like a rapid response system.
Exactly. And Exercise also helps to flush out toxins through your lymphatic system, which is a crucial part of your immune system as well. So it's kind of like a two-for-one deal.
Gotcha. Okay, well, what about things that hinder our immune system? Because we've talked about, like, fueling it, supporting it, but what about the things that bring it down? And I feel like stress has got to be up there, right?
Absolutely. Chronic stress, it's like this constant alarm bell going off in your system, and that throws everything out of whack.
I can see how that would be a problem.
Yeah.
But how does it actually work? Like, how does stress in our minds actually affect our immune response?
Well, when you're stressed, your body releases these hormones, things like cortisol, and over time, those can actually suppress your immune function.
So it's like your body thinks it's under attack, even if it's just, deadlines or whatever causing the stress, and it starts diverting resources away from other important function.
Exactly. Your body's in survival mode. It's not thinking about long-term health. That's why finding healthy ways to manage stress, it's just as important as any of these other lifestyle factors.
I think we all know we should manage stress, but that's always easier said than done. What are some things our listener could try? Because you're right, it's got to be more than just don't be stressed.
Right. You'd be surprised how powerful the simple things are, like deep breathing. Seriously, even just a few minutes can make a difference.
Because it sort of calms your nervous system down.
Exactly. It's like hitting the reset button. Of course, there's meditation, yoga, spending time in nature. But honestly, sometimes you just need something quick and accessible.
For sure. And I imagine something like exercise could help too, right? Because you're releasing those feel-good endorphins, and it's kind of the opposite of feeling stressed out.
You got it. And don't underestimate the power of sleep either. We talk about diet, exercise, but getting enough rest, that's crucial for a healthy immune response.
I have a feeling this is more than just those dark circles we get when we don't sleep enough. What's actually going on in our bodies, it's so good for the immune system when we sleep.
Okay, so when you sleep, your body goes into this like repair and rejuvenation mode. It's like it can finally focus on those essential functions it doesn't have time for during the day.
Oh, interesting. So the immune system is still working even though we're, unconscious.
More than that, it's like prime time for your immune system. It's producing and deploying those essential cells. It's like sending your troops off for training and making sure they have the latest equipment.
Wow, so when we don't get enough sleep, we're really doing a disservice to our bodies.
Big time. You're basically undermining your defenses. It's like trying to fight a battle without giving your army any rest.
That's definitely not a winning strategy.
Oh.
Okay, so we've got diet, exercise, stress management, sleep. It really is amazing how interconnected it all is. You can't just focus on one and neglect the others. It's kind of wild when you think about it. We started with this image of like a microscopic battle happening inside us, and now we're talking about getting enough sleep and managing stress.
Right. It really shows you how connected it all is. Taking care of your immune system, it's not just about, one magic thing. It's got to be a whole body approach.
Totally. And it's amazing how much we're still learning, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I was reading that scientists are now using antibodies to treat things like cancer.
Yeah. Immunotherapy, it's pretty incredible stuff. They're basically engineering these antibodies that can, like, zero in on cancer cells and destroy them.
Wow. So it's like those wanted posters we were talking about before, but they're like high-tech now.
Exactly. They're designed to only target the bad cells, leaving the healthy ones alone, which is huge because traditional treatments like chemo, they can really take a toll on your body.
For sure. This is all so fascinating. It makes me wonder about something. Is there a mind-body connection here? Could our thoughts actually affect how well our immune system works?
Ooh, that's a great question. And it's something that scientists have been debating for ages. There's definitely not one clear answer yet, but there's more and more research coming out suggesting that our minds and bodies are way more connected than we used to think.
So you're saying that our thoughts, even our beliefs about ourselves and the world, could potentially impact something as physical as our immune response.
It's a possibility. I mean, think about it. When you're stressed, your body releases all those hormones, right? And we already talked about how those can suppress your immune function. So it stands to reason that if you're constantly thinking negative thoughts, worrying about getting sick, that could actually make you more vulnerable.
Wow. So in a way, just by cultivating a more positive mindset, focusing on gratitude, that could actually be like a form of immune support.
It's definitely an interesting area of research. And hey, even if we don't fully understand it yet, it can't hurt to focus on feeling good.
I love that. Okay, so to wrap things up, it sounds like we've got a lot we can do to support our immune systems. It's about those lifestyle choices, the food we eat, moving our bodies, getting enough sleep. But it's also about how we think, how we manage stress, and even just our overall outlook on life.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's about recognizing that you have more control over your health than you might realize.
That's a great takeaway. Well, this has been an incredible deep dive. Thanks to everyone for listening along with us as we explore the incredible world of the immune system. Until next time.